We've just been listening to President Biden at the UN Climate Summit, talking to global leaders about the need to come together to battle climate change. The president said the climate crisis is about human security, economic security, environmental security, national security, and the very life of the planet. He also apologized for the U.S. pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, but is touting what he now calls unprecedented progress at home, which he says will spark a cycle of innovation both in the U.S. and abroad. Let's bring in foreign correspondent Marcus Moore, who's in Egypt for us with the latest there, and White House correspondent Karen Travers is in D.C. for us as well. Marcus, I want to start with you. How is President Biden's message landing with other world leaders there so far?
Well, I think this will land quite well, and I think the overarching message that we just heard from the president is one of each country doing its part to address this problem, and hammering home the point that the U.S. is trying to lead the way, as he said, in addressing this. And certainly the news, which was actually major news, of the United States partnering with the European Union, providing pledging $500 million. So that Egypt can transition to clean energy. That is an example of how other countries will be certainly looking for that type of investment and support, and in particular, the smaller, less wealthy nations, and the ones that are indeed enduring the full brunt of climate change and the consequences that come along with that, both physically in terms of the infrastructure, the impact, but also the economic impact. And so I think the president's message will be an encouraging one. I think it was certainly it was not a doomsday type of message, which I think is important at this time, that they will want to get a message across that there is hope and that they can meet their goals. And certainly the United States is committed to doing that and limiting climate change, or the degree change, to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Now, Karen, President Biden said that he can say with confidence that the U.S. will meet our emission reduction targets by 2030. Climate change efforts really require cooperation for them to work on a large scale. So can he guarantee that with control of Congress currently in the balance and only 2 years left in his term?
Yeah, it's a pretty big guarantee there from the president, even though he has $369 billion now to work with from the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, that was a pretty big speech from the president there, because if you think back to 1 year ago when he spoke at COP26, it was not clear he was going to have any funding from Congress for climate programs and clean energy. And now he does. And he was there to say that the United States is taking action and is now leading on the global stage. And it's now up to other countries to follow that example. The president called that legislation the biggest, most important climate bill in the history of our country, talking about what it's going to do and saying it's going to have a significant impact around the world.
All right, Karen Travers, Marcus Moore, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.